All right, guys, welcome back to another interview on mmaunhinged. My guest is Stephen Hill. An absolute pleasure. Off the back of a Bellator win, man, it's great for you to join me.
Thanks, man. It's nice to be chatting to you.
Absolutely. And as I just talked about, off the back of a Bellator win, I couldn't catch you at a better momentum. 7-0, 2-0 in Bellator. Firstly, how does that feel? Fighting on a big stage, fighting in a big, promotion like Bellator. That's got to mean something special.
Yeah, of course, mate. It means a lot to me. It's my passion. It's my life. It's my job. I love it. I'm buzzing. I can't wait to go again.
We're going to get into that. I'd love to talk about it. Obviously, you was meant to schedule a fight earlier, but we won't get into that. We'll talk about the good stuff. I want to talk about your last fight. Second round submission. That was good. It was a fantastic performance. You showed everything what you're about. You finished the fight. I think the fans, obviously, you picked up loads of traction. I've seen the American fans even come over on board with the Hillbilly Hammer. So talk to me about that fight. Is that how you kind of expected it to go?
So that fight in Dublin, the Frenchman, we knew he was a really good striker, and we knew his grappling wasn't amazing. It was tricky. It was like a tricky style of grappling, weren't that great. But them guys, they're hard to fight. Them guys sometimes really good striking, but like sort of unorthodox grappling. They're weird. So we checked him out, and he had a few. His last couple of fights, he had a few knockouts, and he was a dangerous guy. So I knew going in, the game plan was take him down and just do my jiu-jitsu. My jiu-jitsu's slick, and my jiu-jitsu is a nightmare for all these guys. I'm being deadly honest. I've been up and down the country, and I've grappled with these guys in MMA gyms, big names and stuff. And once I get my hands on them, I'm like, it's either I'm really good or you're really pony, like, or it's somewhere in the middle. But yeah, the game plan was to just take this Frenchman down and maul him, which I did. If I reckon there's another 30 seconds in the first round, he would have made it out. But there you go.
Don't worry, I know all about your jiu-jitsu. I remember one time you were saying that you competed in a tournament of 5 different divisions. Am I correct?
Yeah. 5 divisions, yeah. 5 golds, yeah.
So talk to me about them 5 different divisions. Obviously, I'm not too very keen on the kgs. I'm more of a pounds guy because obviously UFC, MMA, that's the way I've got. So you compete at 170, I presume, or maybe actually competed a little bit higher than that because I know you're probably out of camp a little bit.
Yeah. So when I compete jiu-jitsu, I just compete at what I am, and I get quite heavy. Back then, probably north of 95 kg. Big, real big. I was fighting some 100-kilo guys, 105 kilo. So what's that? That's, I don't know, 220, 210. Big. They were big boys. Put it that way. But yeah, in jiu-jitsu, it's all about skill, man. Strength is good, but skill is better.
Absolutely, and you showcased that as I talked about in your last fight, getting that submission, that second round submission. Can you walk us through it a little bit more? The finishing sequence. What's running through your head at that moment of time when you're thinking, I've got this rear naked choke, I've got him now.
Okay, so going back to the start of the fight, I was told prior that they were happy. I'm not saying any names, but they were happy with my performance in Milan, but they want to see finishes. So I was like, okay, cool. That's understandable. It's an entertainment business. To see some finishes, yeah. So I knew I'm capable. I don't want to sound arrogant, but I know I'm capable of subbing anyone. If the timing's right, one slip up, I'm gonna get you. So I was thinking, okay, we're on the ground. I'm either gonna like pummel him to death, TKO him, get him out of it, or sub him. And I love my subs. And yeah. I saw that back and I took it, I was like, I had one hook in, had like a Dagestani handcuff, ground and pound him under and over. And then I pulled him on, rather than 2 hooks, I call it the halfway home, where I've got like half a hook sort of thing. He's fighting the hand, so I'm digging my hands on his face, protect his face, then you go underneath the neck. Old school day one stuff, but it works. Big squeeze.
You mentioned go on, sorry.
And then a big squeeze, and that's all she wrote, mate. That's all she wrote. Few Guinnesses
all she wrote. Unbelievable. I just want to talk about that. What you just mentioned there. Obviously, Bellator saying that they want to see finishes. They're impressed with your performance, but they want to see finishes. Do you feel like that statement that kind of spurred you on with that different mentality heading into the last one?
Oh hell yeah! Oh hell yeah! My first fight in Bellator, such a big promotion, and I was only 5-0 at the time. I was very nervous because from where I live in a little seaside town, I was the first guy from where I'm from. I'm not in a big city with loads of pro guys, and we've got really good guys and loads of good grapplers and stuff, but no one who's done really well in Bellator. And like the first fight was almost the sense of get through it but win it, get through it but win it. And then obviously they said to me, "Look, we want finishers." Of course, literally the rest of my career has been finishers the whole time. I've either sub people or TKO'd them. So going into that fight, the second time round, I was like, "Yeah, man, I'm going to finish this guy no matter what. If I've got to rip his foot off, I'm going to finish him." Do you know what I mean? Way different mentality, and that's the way I'm going to keep it from now on. I just want to finish everyone. Do you know what I mean? Because that's what they want to see, and that's what they want to see. That's what they're going to get.
Yeah, and you were talking about the nerves there, and to me, obviously, first fight you talked about in a big promotion in Bellator, it's a huge thing. As you talked about, from a guy in a little town, in a seaside town, fighting in Bellator, it's huge. It's a really big deal. But making that second walk, did you feel more comfortable because it kind of felt more at home, more at ease, should we say?
Oh hell yeah, mate. Yeah, hell yeah. It felt so the first time you've never been on that Bellator, that canvas. You've never felt that cage before. They're all different, and the pressure. So this time, the second time round, I felt very much at home, very much at home. You know, it's just down to little things. Michael C. Williams, the announcer, I've never seen him before. I've watched him for 10 years on the TV, and then he's calling out my name. The second time round, I'm just like, oh yeah, it's work time now, baby. Do you know what I mean? It felt very familiar, and I'm just better at it and better at it, better at it. You know.
Michael C. Williams has got a infamous voice. As you talked about, he's been around for like 10 years. He's called some of the best fights in the world. In Bellator history, and he's calling out your name. And them little things, them little touching things, they mean a lot for someone.
Yeah, man. I'm a humble guy. I come from a cancer state, and then I'm in the cage, and I'm like, shit, that's Michael C. Williams. Do you know what I mean? I'm like, whoa, what's this? What's this? And then, but the second time, the first time was like, it was like a dream. I had to pinch myself. Like I was fighting Italian in Milan. They're getting booed from 10,000 fans. I was like, oh shit, this is real. This is hardcore. This is nuts. Second time round, you're getting used to it. You know what I mean? You know, um, it's like anything. The first time you play snooker, you know what I mean? You're not going to be that great. You keep playing, you keep playing, you keep playing. You're going to get all right. You're going to become good.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I'm no good at snooker. I've tried many
Hey,
times. I'm absolutely terrible.
that was a bad analogy, but do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but I know what you mean. With experience, as you were talking, with experience, you're going to get better at things. And obviously, still very young in your career. 7-0. I mean, look, you've only had 2 fights on Bellator scene, 5 fights outside. You still got a lot to go. And if you're looking at a top 10 division in 170 right now at Bellator, it's booming. I love it. And
Yeah,
I just can't wait for Stephen Hill to climb up them rankings slowly, time by time, and eventually etch his name into them top 10 rankings.
100%. It'll be a dream come true for me, and I won't stop until the wheels come off. I'll be 48. I don't care. I still want to be in that top 10. Do you know what I mean? I'm gonna keep doing my thing, fight by fight. Day by day.
Absolutely. And obviously, heading into this fight, the last fight, against Joel Kouadja, I want to say.
Yeah.
Heading into that fight, the training camp, was that tailor? Obviously, it was tailor made, towards your opponent. But is there anything that you kind of changed in that training camp? Necessary, obviously. I know you had a scheduled bout, and then it fell through, and he stepped in. But is there anything that you kind of changed for this bout heading into this one?
Um, to be honest with you, no, I won't lie. Guys can sit here and go, yeah, yeah, it's the same game, different game plan, but it wasn't really like we do everything every day. Like we was doing wall work, worst case scenarios. We're doing ground and pound. We're doing starting off your back. starting in side control. We're doing these scenarios. I'm ready for everything, and that's just how I level up every camp. So we do it every time. Um, there are periods of time where we do. Sorry, mate. So please, guys.
They're coming for you, Stephen. Get down.
Yeah, there are times where like, okay, we're fighting a really good grappler or this or that. So but no, nothing really changed, mate. I was just training even harder and yeah, I was just etching closer. We had another guy, but I think he broke his nose, an injury to his nose. This guy was a real tall guy, got a knockout in Bellator Paris, but he got injured, and yeah, and then Joël, I think 5 weeks out, stepped in. We knew he's a dangerous striker. Yeah, man, I love fighting strikers. I love fighting strikers. My jiu-jitsu is slick. They're in trouble. It's a matter of time before I link arms on you. Do you know what I mean? Grappling wins.
That's it. You when you fight a striker, you're always going to have you're always going to have an advantage over him because we talked about your grappling. Getting that black belt, and I would love to talk about the moment when you got that black belt on the podium, as I talked about that 5 division tournament that you went to in front of your son on Father's Day. We talked about these little achievements, these little things that mean the most to fighters. Talk to me about that moment. I know that's very special to you. I know you talked about it a lot. Talk to me about that. Talk to me about that moment in front of your son, winning 5 golds. That's something special.
Oh, mate, yeah, that's etched into my memory forever. That one, that's a real. It was Father's Day as well. It was Father's Day.
Yeah.
Me and my son, we bounced over to Brighton together, just me and him. Kicked 8 people's ass, took home 5 goals and a black belt. I mean, it was a good Sunday. It was a very good Sunday. Yeah, it was. Man, I don't cry a lot, but that was close that day. It was special, and it always will be special to me. In front of him. What many 8-year-olds can sit there and say, "Oh, my dad just won 5 golds and got his black belt today"? Not many, not many. So it's very special to me, and it's real close to my heart, man. Yeah.
How was the neck after that day, carrying all the golds, but you had a sore neck?
Oh, and mate, I was just putting him on him. I was putting him on my little son, my little boy. Carry them for me, please.
That is phenomenal. Honestly, that is spectacular. Winning 5 golds, winning 1 gold is hard enough.
Yeah.
Winning 5 though, that's good.
100%. I was just on fire that day. You could have put King Kong in front of me. I would have kicked his ass. I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened that day, man. I had some good coffee. Yeah,
Don't give Marvel a new idea for a movie.
Oh yeah, man. Nah, it was good.
Yeah, that is honestly that is special. I want to move on. And we talked about it a little bit briefly. You were scheduled to fight at Bellator Paris. Unfortunately, did miss weight. I know a lot of fans, expecting you to, jump back in there. But you talked about it before we went on air. September is that a good time? What is the time frame for Stephen Hill to get back into the octagon, into the ring? Sorry.
Mate, I'd get back in there next weekend. But I'm just training and patiently waiting for them to give me the call. But I don't think it's going to be before September, October time because I just can't see it. I can't see it. So yeah, October, November, December, somewhere around there towards the end of the year. But I'm just buzzing to get back in there. Obviously, I'm gutted about Paris. Still, always will be, and I'm just looking to get back in there as soon as possible, really. But whenever they give me the call, and whoever they give me, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Give me the date. Give me a name. I'll see you there, son.
I love it. When you're at moments like this, waiting for a fight, waiting for that call, you've got some downtime. How do you spend that other than sending memes and posting memes on Instagram? How do you spend that time?
Training, working, and training, and family. Yeah. Oh, you still at work? I'm like, yeah, man. I've not got a big paycheck yet. It's coming. It's coming.
When that day does come, is that going to feel sweet? I know a lot of fighters, when they get that big first paycheck, immediately they want to obviously go full time in MMA. Is that the moment when you realize, hold on, I've got something special now. I can go full time, dedicate my whole time to it. I can. I know you're taking it serious, but when that moment comes, that's when you are taking it. you've got your 100% dedication in it.
Of course, mate. It'd be. I don't think sweet is a good enough word. It'd be amazing. You know what I mean? Your dreams finally paying you to be not financially a millionaire or whatever, or maybe it could, but you're financially at a place where you can do what you want, almost to a certain extent. I mean, I've had big paychecks, but this Richie Sunak's kicking my ass. So all the inflation, I mean, these motherfuckers, I've got to go back to work. Yeah, mate, I can't wait for that day. You know what I mean? It's my dream. It's my dream, and we're all prize fighters. You know, when it's you know when people these fighters go, oh no, we fight for the love of it. Yeah, we love it. We also like getting paid. You know what I mean? Like everyone else. Fuck you, pay me. You know what I mean? So.
And my last question, we talked about it a little bit earlier, and the 170-pound division in Bellator. I mean, if you look at the names, you talked about Amazov, Logan Storley, Michael Venom Page down the line. That would be phenomenal. A headliner in Bellator London, Stephen Hill versus Michael Venom Page. I'm just saying, it'd be phenomenal. But talk to me about when you look at these top 10 names. Is that something that you want to get involved in? Obviously, that's something you want to get involved in. But who excites you the most when you look at that top 10 names?
Amazov.
Yeah. Is it because he's a grappler and you want to test that grappling?
He's not a grappler. He's like me. We're hybrids. We can do it all. But our grappling's just so advanced and it's miles ahead. I'm telling you right now, yeah, I respect all of them guys. All of them guys. But if you just, like when I talk about my grappling, if it was just me and you just to the grapple, I'm going to take you down, maul you and do what I want. You know? So what's the difference with gloves on? I don't know. I'm just saying. I respect all them guys. I love all them guys. They're gangsters. But, one day I'm going to be up in the top 10. I don't know if they'll still be fighting or they're retired or what. But, yeah, they're all of them are in the way. And I want to get in the mix. I want to be in the party. You know what I mean? So, whatever. They all excite me. So, MVP.
Absolutely. I think it would be rude not to have the Hillbilly Hammer there.
MVP. I'm bringing a gun. I'm bringing a shotty, mate. That guy moves around like Spider-Man. Do you know what I mean? So hopefully he's retired the time I get up there.
But if you think about it, there are two Englishmen, main event in Bellator London or anything like that. Just makes a hell of a lot of sense. And I know you're probably maybe a year or maybe a few years away to get in the top 10. Hopefully it does, or maybe you get a big standout performance and you get a ranked opponent, and then boom, you just don't know how Bellator are gonna, gonna move you in your career.
Yeah. Do you know what? I used to think like that. It'd be like, people would say that to me. They'd be like, you could just have this and this and it. You're boom, it's gone. I'd be like, nah, that's not going to happen. It's going to take forever. And then I remember I'm on holiday, 5-0, not signed to anyone, doing small regional shows, kicking everyone's ass domestically, then get a call like, you're in. Do you know what I mean? And so it can happen like that. I mean, I'm not going to mention the other names, but I got a contract from Bellator, and obviously got another couple days later. I got another a massive contract from someone else. I won't mention any names, but I was a bit like, Jesus, my life was like bus stops. There's no buses coming, and then 5 come at once. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, Bellator's my home, man. I love Bellator. They always look after me. They do look after me. I'm gutted about what happened in Paris. Absolutely gutted. I've tried everything. I gave it my whole. Like, I lost 10 kilo. Just the last 1.5 kilos wouldn't come off. Also, while we're on here as well, I wouldn't mind clearing a bit of that mess up, because the guy I was meant to fight was saying I missed by 5-6 pounds or something. He was saying I missed by 1.5 pounds. 3 pounds, sorry, 1.5 kilos, 3 pounds. That's 1.5 litres of water. Fighters have missed by 8 to 10 pounds and still fought. You didn't want to fight me over 3 pounds. And I offered you 90% of my purse. What have you got to lose? Do you know what? I actually want to sit here and I want to say it as well. You're a pussy. You're a pussy. And you know what? You can say what you want and all your Italian fans can get behind you and all this. And I'm actually a respectful guy. I shook his hand when I see him. But when I see you again, I'll literally, If you say anything, it's on site. I'm going to straighten your nose on site. If it's in a lift, in a hotel, I'm going to do that. If we're fighting, if we're not fighting, to be honest with you, they never fight me. I went up to him and his coach and said, look, it's a kilo and a half. Come on, let's get it on tomorrow. They were saying, you'll be 88 kilo tomorrow. And I was like, mate, I'm going to be 88 kilo tomorrow, whether it was a kilo and a half off or I was bang on weight. I'm massive the next day. I'm humongous. I'm like an elephant the next day. And you're worried about a kilo and a half, mate. I just it's still mad to me. A kilo and a half. Hamzat missed by 8 pounds. And we're fighters at the end of the day. We're fighters, right? If I'm fighting you and I miss weight by a kilo and a half, would you fight me? 1 kilo and a half. Be honest.
I mean, 1 kilo and a half. If you talked about 3 pounds. I mean, and you talked about it. Hamzat, he's missed weight by 8 pounds before. He's still fought. But obviously, this MMA game's a game of inches. But as you talked about fighters, and, if they're a fighter, they're going to fight. And to be honest, we've seen it a lot in the past when people have not fought. But I would assume they're a fought. And 3 pounds is I know it's like 3 pounds over limit, but in my eyes, it wasn't that much. It could have been
Not that
8
much.
pounds, could have been 9 pounds, could have
Not
been
that much.
£10.
So you're allowed to be 171. I was 174. It's £3. We are fighters. You've just done a whole camp, Solly. You've done a whole camp. You've got family and friends coming over from Italy to Paris. I've got family and friends coming over from England. We've trained 9-10 weeks for this. No. Sorry, Matt. I can't fight you. You're a kilo and a half over. You're a pussy. You're a pussy. I hope you see this. You're an absolute pussy, mate. Honestly, you're a pussy. And I'd run it back in a heartbeat. And I'd give you my 90% purse. I'd run it back in a heartbeat. I see his eyes, and the eyes don't lie. And I shook your hand in the hotel lobby, in the Marriott, in Paris. And I said, come on, brother, let's get it on tomorrow. It's a kilo and a half. You get 20% of my purse, and then I'll give you the other. I'll give you 90%. Like, you know what I mean? I'll give 80%, whatever it is. No, don't want to fight you. And I know why you don't want to fight me, because you get half your money to weigh in. So we'd have got half his money, and then thought, oh, hang on a minute. I'll get half my dough here, and I've not even got to fight the hammer. Win-win. And I'll fight again in 4 weeks. I tell you what, we've got a word over in the UK. Pussy. You're a pussy. Pussy. You know what? They'll never give me that fight again. They will never give me that fight again because I missed weight. And that's my fault. I hold my hands up and say that. I hold my hands up. I'm sorry. I tried my best. I felt like I was going to have kidney failure. It was bad, real bad. Something happened and it was bad. Something went wrong and that was that. But, mate, a kilo and a half. Kilo and a half. All your friends and family bought tickets, flights, hotels. And you're not going to fight me for over a kilo and a half. Pussy.
I was going to ask you, is that a fight you still want? But I felt like
yes.
you've kind of just
Mate, I'd
everything.
fight him in a car park for free. He's a pussy. He's like a long range southpaw fighter who wants to look pretty and hit me on the back foot. He's whack. I hope he sees this. Because him and whoever we're bumping together. I see him in Dublin. I see him in Milan. I see him in Dublin, and I saw him in Paris. We're going to see each other again. And listen, fuck it. I'm there, mate. I'm there. We can get it on in the car park, in the lobby, in the lift, wherever you want it. You're a pussy.
You'd be like Robbie Brown 2.0. Shout out to Robbie Brown if you know who he is.
Yeah, mate. Oh, listen, brother. Listen, the Bellator staff will come up to me and they were like, we don't know why he's not taking it. People have missed by way more. I won't mention any names, but that's the staff.
Yeah. Well, £3. It's honest. I know it's obviously no excuses and stuff like that, but
my fault, yeah. But
yeah.
he missed weight by a kilo and a half. I go, let's go, brother. I get an extra 20% purse and I get the fight. It's a win-win. You know what I mean? You get more.
I was going to ask you, if it was roles reversed, but you kind of put it nail on the head there. You would accept it, and You'd be even happier because you just mentioned that you get 20% of his purse.
Listen here, right? You get 20% of my purse, and you've already got a built-in excuse if you lose. Oh, it was heavy. Oh, it was overweight. That's why I lost. Because all these fighters, they always make excuses. 9 times out of 10. Do you know what I mean? He's got a built. John Jones used to go on the piss and sniff coke a week before. Do you know what I mean? You know what I mean? He did though, didn't he? And he used to build in this built-in excuse. So it was a win-win for Solly. And I was shocked, absolutely shocked, that he didn't take that fight on what we offered him as well. Listen, I'm gutted that I missed weight, and that will never happen again. Never happen again. And I hold my hands up, and I said sorry. I went up to him and shook his hand. I shook his hand, and it was him, his teammate, and his coach. And I said, brother, listen, it's a kilo and a half. I'm really sorry. I've done everything I can, but it's a kilo and a half. It's £3. Let's dance tomorrow. Come on. If it was £10, and I'd go, and they didn't want to fight me, I'd go, okay, fair enough. £10 is a hell of a lot. But there you go. Hey ho. It is what it is, and that's in the past now. We move on, mate. And I'm a way better fighter because of it. I learned so much from that. And I tell you what, there was a fire in me already, but now there's like a volcano in me. I'm waiting for the call every day. I cannot wait. Cannot wait. I'm training harder every day. I'm lifting more. I'm eating better. I'm happier. I can't wait. Can't wait.
I can feel it. The way you're speaking. You sound fired up. You sound ready to go.
I've got so much.
Um,
I've got so much to prove now. So much to prove. So much to showcase. There's so much to show him who the hammer is again. And there's a reason why I'm 7-0. There's a reason why I'm 2-0 in Bellator. Because I'm a fucking nightmare. And he got lucky. He got lucky. He got his money and fair play to him. He's fighting again in September, and I hope him all the best. I hope he wins. But that's my division. That's my division.
well, maybe you might meet down the road. It might happen. You never know. But Stephen, an absolute pleasure.
Nah, it's been a
Thank you so much.
thank you, thank you, thank you so much.
An absolute pleasure. Hope you see you fighting soon. September, October, be a good date. Be a good. Hopefully, I know the Dublin show, and in September, whether they get you on that. I know that's been announced. Obviously, it'll be Fabian Edwards versus in the main event. Come on, Len. Come on, think. Sorry,
Eblin.
Johnny Eblin. There we go. Mine went blank because Fabian just beat Gegard Mousasi in Paris, didn't he? So yeah. That'd be a good one for Bellator Dublin. Bellator Dublin getting a lot of good main events. So hopefully Stephen Hill get on that.
Yeah, man, 100%. Thank you, mate.